Shakur Stevenson and Oscar Valdez. Salute. You know what I'm saying? That fight is a great fight, man. That's one of those fights where both of these guys equally have a lot to prove. I mean, they both have a lot on the line for their career, resume, and future of boxing. You know what I'm saying? Like, this fight captivates sort of the best of the best in that weight division. You know what I mean? Champion versus champion. Very similar to Amanda Serrano versus Katie Taylor. You know what I'm saying? Like, this fight is a dream fight come true. And they equally yoked as far as their resume and opponents. Now, Oscar Valdez has been fighting a little bit longer, but Shakur Stevenson has showed more promise in the future of, you know, being a dominant boxer in his and other divisions. You know what I mean? Now, Oscar Valdez, to me, he's more of the underdog going into this fight, but he has more experience. You know what I'm saying? He's more seasoned. But going into the fight with him and Burchell, really, he was counted out from most of what I heard. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people I like to watch, the Boxing Rants, the Boxing Bros USA, you know, Ringside Reporter Podcast, the Boxing Voice, so on and etc. Most people had this fight going one way for Burchell. You know what I'm saying? The bigger guy, the stronger guy, dominating Oscar Valdez. And he kind of upset the apple cart and turned everybody on their heads and turned the tables the way he knocked them out in dramatic fashion. Very impressive. Nominated like one of the knockouts of the year. And he put him to sleep, crumbled him. On his back foot, caught him with a I think maybe a check hook, and Burchell collapsed. You know what I mean? Folded up going front. But after that, you know what I'm saying? It was like, after an experiencing a very pinnacle high, then it was down to a low, because going into the fight against Robson Conceição, he popped positive for an amphetamine, and we had the whole green tea gate, and it was really no severity in the punishment. It kind of got swept underneath the rug a little bit, and I think it still left a bad taste in a lot of the fans of boxing. Like, Oscar Valdez not being a clean fighter, the green tea not being a valid explanation why you have something in your system that's enhancing your performance. I think it was like a diuretic or something to help him cut weight, you know. So when he fought against Robson Conceição, his performance really was underperformed. He really was. That was a controversial victory. It was a gift victory, and he almost has put a target on himself as the villain. You know what I'm saying? He did everything he could to try to buffer the situation and try to keep his fans on his side. I think he even came out with a long apology and saying how clean of a fighter he has always been and didn't want to lose his support. But I still think a lot of people are looking at Oscar Valdez sideways. You know what I'm saying? It kind of was getting pulled into the gravitational whole Eddie Reynoso. They had pictures of Ryan Garcia photoshopped with extra muscles. They had pictures of Andy Ruiz. It looked like he was jacked up. We had Canelo and the clenbuterol completely got re-brought up, and you know what I'm saying? The focus was all over the place. But Oscar Valdez, one thing for sure is his performance in the ring against Robson Conceição was not impressive. You know what I'm saying? He had a very bad night in the office. Now, on the other hand, Shakur Stevenson shows so much promise. Just a complete fighter. To me, one of the most impressive fighters of this generation of boxers that we have. I really don't see a lot of flaws except for some of the things like when he fought against Jeremiah Nakatalia, he didn't really put an exclamation point on his victory. He didn't close the show. You know what I'm saying? He coasted a little bit. He fought way too defensively, and he got a lot of flack from like Timothy Bradley was even the whole time. Young man, you don't want to set this tone in your you don't want to be fighting somebody that you're supposed to, you know what I'm saying, knock out and dominate and have it look any other way. You know what I'm saying? He caught flack for that. And going into the fight against Jamel Herring, he redeemed himself. You know what I'm saying? Jamel Herring was a hard-nosed, tough guy. He had some losses in his past, but he had put on a consistent amount of victories training with Terrence Bud Crawford and Bomac, and then he capitalized on all of that with his fight with the Jackal, Carl Frampton. You know what I'm saying? And I want to say he knocked out Carl Frampton. So when he went into the fight with Shakur Stevenson, we all looked at this fight. Well, I myself personally looked at this fight like the veteran might school Shakur Stevenson, but most likely Shakur Stevenson is going to be able to win this fight with a split decision, 7 rounds to 5 type of fight. But he went and shocked the whole world by completely dominating Jamel Herring, and then having the referee step in and stop the fight because Jamel Herring was just taking too much punishment. Got to the point where even after the fight, Shakur Stevenson had to go backstage and apologize to Jamel Herring and his wife for being so disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he really disrespected that man. He touched his belt, then he beat him down in front of his wife and in front of everybody. But he did what he had to do. And there was a lot of respect there after the fight. This is just the war, and I love you, and I appreciate you, and I respect you. You know what I'm saying? And I commend it, I respect it, I salute it, 100. But it was like he had the fight of his life from Jamel Herring. It was like a night and day from Jeremiah Nakatalia to Jamel Herring. So now him going into this thing with Oscar Valdez, this is perfect yin and yang. Oscar Valdez, you know what I'm saying, is like dominated Burchell, who he thought was going to lose, and then he had a mediocre performance against, you know what I'm saying, Robson Conceição, and then you had Shakur Stevenson being yang or yin, however you want to put it. He had a mediocre fight against Jeremiah Nakatalia, and then a dominating fight against Jamel Herring, and now they both going to go fist-to-cuff, lock horn, and clash. You know what I'm saying? This is a major fight. And to be honest with you, it can go either way. I'm pulling for Shakur Stevenson. I'm not going to villainize Oscar Valdez. I want to see the best man win. And I want to see, like, you know what I'm saying, when the best of the best fight, I want to see all of the arsenal on full display. That's what I think. That's how I feel. But y'all let me know how y'all feel in the comments below. This is Nocturnal. Bow, bow. Salute and subscribe. I'm gone.